CELPIP writing, general training writing, or PTE core writing. Of the three, which one is most challenging to prepare for? I'm not saying most difficult to pass, okay? Because you might take my words against me. We're asking which one is the most challenging to prepare for. It's 2025 and we are so excited to help you pass your CELPIP writing. This is 9.09ers CELPIP writing video. With me is Sir Pheelyp Edward Aitona, who has taken not just CELPIP but also the other English examinations that are accepted for Canadian immigrant visa, namely IELTS General Training, PTE Core, and this time we're going to focus on CELPIP writing. We've had so many videos focusing on IELTS and PTE. That's why we thought, why not come up with something that focuses on CELPIP? So, first things first, Sir Pheelyp, what's CELPIP writing all about?
CELPIP writing is about two things, Sir Ervin. On one hand, the first task is about writing an email regarding a situation. One is provided with 3 bullet points of what to do so that the candidate knows exactly what to do and the sequence in which to do it. The second task, on the other hand, is responding to a survey question. The candidate is given 2 choices, either choice 1 or choice 2, and then one just has to select and justify one's choice. Both tasks have to be 150 to 200 words, and one has around 26 minutes to write both.
Thank you for that, Sir Pheelyp. We launched our YouTube channel 5 years ago, and back then we already did on-the-spot IELTS writing and on-the-spot OET writing. So what you're going to witness in the next few minutes is something that we're doing for the very first time in CELPIP. So we have 2 tasks for CELPIP writing. Which one are you going to do now, Sir Pheelyp?
Writing an email. I would be writing an email, and in your screen, you would be seeing the situation. I would be reading it for you. And as I mentioned earlier, in the exam, you'll have 27 minutes to do this, but I'm sure because you're excited to see what the email could look like, I will do it much faster just for you.
So before Sir Pheelyp is going to start with his CELPIP on-the-spot writing, we need you to like, comment, and subscribe. If you want us to talk about a specific topic, not just for CELPIP, but any English examination for that matter, comment down below. So, Sir Pheelyp, are you ready with your CELPIP on-the-spot writing?
I'm excited, Sir Ervin. I will read the question. You recently made reservations for dinner at a very famous and expensive restaurant in town. However, the meal and the service were terrible. The restaurant manager was not available to solve the problem, so you left without a resolution. I would like to take this time to point out how very common this kind of situation is, which is one of the good things about CELPIP because the topics tend to be relatable, at least when it comes to writing. Write an email to the restaurant's manager in about 150 to 200 words. Your email should do the following things. 1. State what problems you had with the food you ordered. 2. Complain about the service. And 3. Describe how you want the restaurant to resolve the problem to your satisfaction. And I will get right down to it. So this is an email, this is correspondence. And since I would be typing, I would be going through I would be making sure that it looks like an email first. I would address it. I would come up with, Dear Mr. Temporal. This is my salutation. And then I will go to my ending. Sincerely yours, Mr. Pheelyp Edward Aitona. Now, I used my full name because I'm talking to a restaurant manager and it's formal. Now, I have 3 tasks. State what problems you had with the food you ordered. But before I would do that, because this is a correspondence, then I would first have to introduce myself because this guy doesn't know me. So I am a customer in the restaurant, so I will state that. Dear Mr. Temporal, I was the customer who reserved table 35 in the Tolentino wing of, what's a good restaurant? Sofitel. Of Sofitel. Last Thursday, March 11, 2025, Now, the reason why I give these details is because these are the details that the restaurant manager would need to know in order to identify who I am. And this shows attentiveness to the situation and to the task. And because this guy gets all kinds of emails, it would be good for correspondence to immediately state what the purpose of the email would be. I am writing to express my dissatisfaction with the service I was provided at that time. So I have my introduction. I would take advantage of the bullet points that I was given. So state what problems you had with the food you ordered. So take note problems, so it's plural, with the food you ordered. So I should identify what food it was. As a vegan, then I guess I should pick something vegan. When the chickpea salad I ordered was served to me, not only was it at room temperature instead of being cold, as it should have been, but it also had a piece of chicken in it. I understand that mistakes happen in the food business, but the manner in which this situation was handled left much to be desired. The second bullet point is complain about the service. Service is action. So I'm not actually supposed to be complaining about the food itself, or rather not only about the food, but what a person did. So I'm guessing, because it's stated in the situation that the restaurant manager was not available to solve the problem, then I should incorporate this in my email. Because you were unfortunately attending to another table, the waiter who tried to resolve the problem, Miguel, being specific is good, was dismissive of my feelings. I was understandably upset. Understandably upset. Because since as a vegan, I cannot consume animal products. And the situation said that the restaurant is very famous and expensive. Therefore, it would be to my advantage to paraphrase this and to incorporate it in my email somehow. So I was understandably upset since your prestigious restaurant, since your restaurant was prestigious and demanded high prices. So my expectations were quite high. Failing to observe food safety practices, as well as attending to dietary preferences, should be a given. Yet for Miguel, it apparently was too much of an effort to do so. My third bullet point is describe how you want the restaurant to resolve the problem to your satisfaction. Kindly reach out to me by email to offer me an apology. No. An apology would be appreciated. Preferably sent to my address. Preferably sent through a letter to my address in order to an apology would be appreciated, preferably sent through a letter to my address. Should it be accompanied by a gift certificate to compensate for the experience, then it would not be rejected. While I was typing, I wasn't looking at the word count. Now in the exam, you would be seeing the word count. Now let me check right now. How many words was that? That was 214 words. Now the word count is 150, around 150 to 200. So when I check the guidelines, there is an allowance of 10%. So 10% of 200 is 20, so up to 220. So therefore, hooray, I still have 6 words to go. But I think this is more than good enough. So now that I've written this, I would like to verify that all of the keywords that are in the task description, I was actually able to attend to. You recently made reservations. Was it recent? I said it was last Thursday.
Last Thursday.
Indeed. Reservations. Did I mention that I reserved? I did. Who reserved table 35 for dinner? Did I say it was dinner? I did not. So I should include that. Last Thursday, March 11, 2015, for 8 p.m.
I was about to say, just at the
At
time.
a time, exactly, right? At a very famous and expensive restaurant in town. Very famous, I said prestigious. Expensive, demanded high prices. Restaurant, Sofitel. However, the meal and the service were terrible. I said the meal was terrible because it was served at room temperature and it had chicken in it. The restaurant manager was not available to solve the problem. I mentioned that you were attending to another table. I addressed the person directly because I'm writing to the restaurant manager. Yeah. So you left without the resolution. I forgot that. I did not mention that I left Sofitel without the concern being attended to. So that was something I overlooked. Therefore, I would go back to my text and include that.
But nothing to worry because as you've mentioned in the actual exam, they have how many minutes to do that?
27.
27.
How many minutes
I'm
has
sure
this been?
you did that for just a few minutes.
True. That is true. And proofreading is very, very important, whatever exam, because the first draft will always contain mistakes.
True.
I made mistakes. For example, I forgot this. So how would I include that? It was too much for me to bear. And I left immediately, given this. An apology would be appreciated. So I added that to my third paragraph. Now I would be looking at my word count. So it is now at 226 words. I'm over. So I would have to eliminate
some details. Yeah.
Some details. It's easy to get excited and say so many things. So I suppose I can get rid of 6 words. When the chickpea salad perhaps I can get rid of as it should have been.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
5 words.
5 words. I have
Only
to
have
get
one
one left. But it also had a piece of chicken in it. But it also had
Chicken.
chicken in it. There we go. Instead of saying
That
a
solves-
piece of.
That solves the problem.
There we go. And I am below 220 words again. And that, wait, let me confirm that this is true. Oh, apparently not. I am at 222. So instead of giving my full name, Mr. Pheelyp Edward Iton, I'll just say Pheelyp Iton.
Yeah.
So
It's -1.
-1. So I will now. So instead of saying sincerely yours, I will just say sincerely.
Mm-hmm.
Ta-da! So 220 words. Let me go back to checking.
The purpose of this video is for you to have an idea how it's done in the actual examination. You're provided with a task description. You're given enough time to compose your output, and never forget to edit, because even the best writers commit mistakes when they are writing. How much more candidates who are nervous in the actual examination. So before you start writing, plan for it first, write, and don't submit without editing. So while Sir Pheelyp is reading his output, we're going to do exactly the same thing that I asked him last week during our CELPIP speaking video. So I'm going to ask him, when or which English examination would you say is easiest to prepare for if you're applying for Canadian immigrant visa? Is it IELTS general training, CELPIP, or PTE CORE? The follow-up question is, which of the 3 is the most challenging to prepare for? Then, we're also asking Sir Pheelyp, what are your recommendations? When are you going to recommend IELTS general training, PTE CORE, and CELPIP? So, Sir Pheelyp, are you ready to answer the questions that I have just mentioned?
Not yet, because when I was editing, I made changes, and which you would have seen in your screen. And I am now back at 221 words, so I now have to get rid of 1 more. I was understandably upset. I will just say upset. There you go. I'm ready now. What are your questions, Ervin?
So, I'll repeat my questions. Number 1, which English examination is easiest to prepare for if you're migrating to Canada? Is it CELPIP writing, IELTS general training writing, or PTE CORE writing?
Oh, definitely CELPIP, because CELPIP has no essay.
True.
Right. And when was the last time when was the last time you wrote an essay? Do you remember? Because for most people who take these exams, the last time would be in school. And school could be like many years ago. In CELPIP, it's just writing an email, which I'm sure some of us do, and responding to survey questions. So we have more practice of that in real life.
Of the 3, which one is most challenging to prepare for? I'm not saying most difficult to pass, okay? Because you might take my words against me. We're asking which one is the most challenging to prepare for.
PTE, because PTE requires one to summarize text, which one usually does not do
In real life. Yeah.
IELTS, write a letter and essay. CELPIP, write an email and answer a survey question, but summarizing, I mean, when I was in school, I never had to summarize texts. I don't know about you. So in that sense, PTE writing would be the most challenging to prepare for.
We don't want to be judged as biased. So we're going to highlight the advantages of each English examination. So, Sir Pheelyp, when are you going to recommend IELTS general training over the other 2 English exams?
If I give it some thought, I would recommend the IELTS, first of all, if they're not used, if they type slowly. Because if you type slowly, you should not be taking a computer-based test like CELPIP and PTE. It's I mean, you saw how fast I was typing, yeah, but if you can't do that and typing only slows you down, please take general training paper-based test. That's what I think, sir.
And I think IELTS has more examination venues. Like in the Philippines, there are 32 cities where IELTS general training examination is offered on paper. 32 cities. For PTE, only 4 cities. Makati, Baguio, Cebu, and Davao. And for CELPIP, it's only in Manila. So that gives IELTS general training the advantage if you are from areas outside of the metropolis, like Metro Cebu, Metro Manila.
That's true.
Okay, so we go to question number 2. When are you going to recommend CELPIP over the 2 other English exams?
Well, because I would recommend CELPIP if you are near the test center, first of all. And second, I would recommend it because the tasks that one has to do are things that one probably has practice doing. I answer survey questions a lot, and I also write emails a lot. So, and I guess most of our viewers can say the same thing. So CELPIP is more relatable, and we have more practice in it.
You've mentioned earlier that PTE has summarized written text, but let's be objective about this. When are you going to recommend PTE CORE over IELTS general training and CELPIP writing?
Well, perhaps if you have trust issues with human examiners, because in PTE it's only the AI that checks your work. So if you want that extra reassurance of your English ability checked by the machine, then PTE would be the test for you.
So IELTS writing is checked by a human examiner. Same thing is true for CELPIP writing. Only PTE writing is assessed by artificial intelligence. That's it, ladies and gentlemen, for our on-the-spot CELPIP writing. We are down to the last 2 subtests of CELPIP. Next week, we're going to focus on reading, and the week after that, it's listening. Once again, this is 9.09er English. We'll see you next week.
Thanks.